What is up, YouTube? It is me, Artisan MC, back with a drive time. I know I haven't done a Cartisan MC in a while, but I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. Things be for weeks. My sleep schedule is completely messed up, so I'm waking up very early, like I should be. So I'm on the road on time, not behind. I have time to do this. So, like, share, subscribe, support a stream and a brother if you feel so inclined. I'll try to make this entertaining for you, even though you can't see my luxurious face. So, do a little geeking right now. Put up no one, the return. That's right, the return. Couldn't play my tradee. Well, return. Good, beastly nerd. I ain't seen you in a minute, man. Hope the kids is going all right. The King Bear, salute to you, sir. Salute to the king. Vanilla spice eggnog. It's still time for pumpkin spice. Or no, it's actually peppermint mocha time. That's what it is. It's in November. It's almost Thanksgiving. It's peppermint mocha time right now. So thanks for reminding me. I might have to swing by my yearly visit in Starbucks and get my peppermint mocha fix. See if I can con the barista. She's cute. Think I'm handsome into giving me that container of chocolate shavings. I need that in my life. I need that in my life. So I went ahead and watched Dune Prophecy last night. This is not taking the place of a review necessarily. I'm not even decided if I'm going to review it or not. I just watched it. I didn't record it, didn't put it on Patreon, nothing. It's the first time I'm talking about it. But it was interesting. Look, Dan said in here, I was just about to mention Dan said. It's good, Dan said. But Dan said it asked me if I was watching it. And I wasn't actually going to watch it until Dan said anything. And I realized that Dan said would be all in on this shit. Dan said would be all in on this because he is not a fan of how they're portraying the Fremen women in the Denis Villeneuve Dune universe right now. Not feeling that. So seeing how this Bene Gesserit shit go down is going to be an undertaking, to say the least. So I went ahead and watched the first episode of Dune Prophecy last night. I actually ended up watching it twice because I was cooking dinner, and this is telling you how much I was really not wanting to pay attention to this shit. I figured it couldn't be that damn deep, so I was cooking dinner. I had my back turned to it half the damn time. What's good, studio? So once I finished this, so I started it over and watched it again. And for the most part, I can tell you that I'm getting a lot of Handmaid's Tale vibes on it. Like this is supposed to be the reversal, right? It's supposed to be the reversal of the Handmaid's Tale, that we gonna prop up the Bene Gesserits like they such decent people. But then I'm watching the show and realizing the studio that it's coming from, being Warner Brothers, I'm getting what they're doing in a sense, right? It's more of this, empathize with the devil kind of thing. That the people that you are, excuse me, still got a little bit of a cold. The people that you are empathizing, sympathizing, watching as the protagonists of this show are not good people. These Bene Gesserits are not good people. They're not. Okay? They're manipulative women, flat out, from the onset. That's the whole goal, right? Now, some of the little stuff that I saw in it that I would actually I'd probably wait to go deeper into with Dead Set on Sunday because I definitely want to hear his take. I got to hear that come out of his mouth. I don't want him to type it. I want him to speak it just so I can hear it and get my 50 fucking chuckles off of that. Because man, there's some things you can hear in your head, but there's other things you want to hear come out of the person's mouth yourself. That's just the nature of understanding people and wanting to listen to what they have to say. Well, Dad said, if you free on Sunday, man, you know you got an open spot. The table is open. But you get the start of the Bene Gesserit, and it starts right after what I would consider the Butlerian Jihad. Right? They put it into the thinking AI machine. That's what it is. Thinking machines are just AI, right? That rule over humanity, and human beings turn the tables and destroy them. You know, they crash Skynet. Okay, that's pretty much what it is. Now, in the time after that, 100 some years after that, you get the first Bene Gesserit, which in this show is a black woman, right? Raquel. And this is just a brief overview. I'm not going to spoil the whole stuff. And Raquel believes that the problem with the fighting was some men ran, and that was House Harkonnen. House Harkonnen ran. House Atreides was the one who won the day. All right? Now, because there was cowardice in House Harkonnen, everybody with that Harkonnen name was deemed as cowards. That family was deemed as cowards, right? Okay, on some Game of Thrones type of shit. All right, fine, whatever. One person in that house, after a time, came along, didn't want to bear the stigma of that branding of their house, and this was Baela Harkonnen. And she decided to renounce her family because men are weak, and join the Bene Gesserits headed by who she sees as her mother now, her first real mother, as Reverend. She's not even called Reverend Mother yet. She's Sister Raquel or something like that. Mother something Raquel, right? The first head of the Bene Gesserits. And this little white girl becomes, Mom's Mabley's, adopted daughter. Takes Rhea, trains her, all the rest of this stuff, right? Cool. Over her granddaughter and all that shit, right? Her granddaughter who is black. Now, when Mother Raquel died, mine ain't witches. It's like Mother Anastasia, no shit like that. These ain't witches, these Bene Gesserit, but it's supposed to be like, kind of like Jedi or something. It's like totally different. On her deathbed, she has a vision. Mother Raquel has a vision. And during that vision, she calls for Valiant to come, right? Valiant Harkonnen to come to her bedside over her granddaughter, Doretha, who was there. And when Sister Valiant gets there, she tells her, you must grow the order, right? You must grow our numbers, put us in position of power for what's coming, because Raquel's vision is of a fall, of a great disaster that will befall the Bene Gesserits. So she tasks Sister Layla with running the order after she's passed and growing its numbers and putting these women in these positions of power, follow their genetic breeding program that Mother Raquel has devised and started. Now, this doesn't sit well with granddaughter Sister Dorita, because Sister Dorita is considered a fanatic. And a fanatic in the sense that Sister Dorita does not believe that they should be meddling with the genetic hierarchies of these families. That men, in some senses, are good and noble. you, you starting to see pictures? Are you starting to see pictures right now? So she's considered a zealot because she wants the Bene Gesserit to walk away from doing all these breeding programs and shit. Over her grandmother's death, she don't want to do that shit. And she looks for the secret code key to get into the genetic library so she can destroy that shit. And Sister Vela is like, no, that's not what's going to happen. She left me in charge. This is what we're going to do. And Dorita is like, no, you can't stop me. And what you see is that Vela Harkonnen is the first person to develop and use the voice. And she uses the voice on Mother or Sister Dorita to stop her from walking away from her, turn and face her, gives her the option to bend the knee to her and be sisters. Sister Dorita refuses, so she tells Sister Dorita to pull out her knife and stab herself in the neck, and she does that. In the middle of the temple, you know, all the sisters go, "Oh my God, she bleeding." Yeah, that ain't that month. That ain't that time of the month. So that is the onset of what starts as the Bene Gesserit, right? And then you do a time skip 30 years later, and you get where the order is in 30 years under Vela's command or charge of the Bene Gesserit order, how they have worked themselves as truthsayers into every house, except for the Harkonnens, because she got beef against her own family. So, you know, what her great-great-grandfather did is such a stain on her, she don't want to give them no truthsayers, no none of that shit. She ain't helping them at all. Fuck them, right? She gonna help every other house but the Harkonnen house, who her and her sister are a part of, and her sister run the Bene Gesserit. Now, that is an interesting enough premise to start off on, but the imagery in it is striking me. I don't know, it's striking me kind of funny. It's giving me a lot of these Foundation vibes, right? Like, we can get this, it's just all women, and we're tough. We do martial arts and shit like that. And I'm like, good Lord, do all these women have... Jesus Christ, I just seen this. Like, with the rain doing whoosh. Like, okay, big deal. The problem I'm having with it, though, is I'm not sure, because I have not read those books yet. This is the original writings of, I think it was Frank Herbert's son, Brian, who wrote these books on the Bene Gesserits and shit like that. I could be wrong. It could have been Frank wrote them himself. I'm not sure. But I haven't read those books on these Bene Gesserits, so I don't know how true they're being to this stuff. But what I'm seeing from the jump is typical, you know, HBO, you know, fanfare. There got to be some sex in it, some drug use, some shady people, some people getting killed, some shocking deaths. And the other thing that is, I'm seeing some ineffectual men, right? Ineffective men, I should say. Now, what guy from Vikings. I never watched Vikings because I'm not Nordic. I didn't really give a shit that hard, right? But that's what he reminds me of. It might be him, it might not be him. But the character he's playing in this is reminding me a lot of the Foundation and the mule in the Foundation. Now, I don't know how close that is because, like I said, I have not read excuse me, this original material about the origin of the Bene Gesserit. So I don't know when it came out, who wrote it, if this character is in there, is this character a plant put in there by, producers or whatnot, but he's a little interesting, but it's looking like a character I've already seen before, right? He's looking really familiar. So while he seems kind of interesting, it's like obvious, like this motherfucker's up to something. Like the minute you showed up, it should have been he was up to something. What's up, P Dubs? Pragmatic Prime in the building. I ain't seen him in a minute. So it is based on Brian's book. Okay. So I was right. So I have to go back and read or throw it on audiobook today and start going through Brian's book on the Bene Gesserits, because you know me, I don't like to be in the ignorant on a lot of things, right? Especially nothing I'm watching. I want to be able to match them both up to each other. Since this is on drop for HBO Max, I have 6 days, excuse me, in between each episode to get through a book and get fully versed on what's going on, because I do long form content. I'm not going to Cliff Note Wikipedia that shit. I'm not. So what I'm seeing so far is the reversal in this. You are supposed to be hate. They're automatically putting them into a position that you're supposed to be cheering for them, and the position of people who you would actually agree with, like Sister Dorita, not wanting to be with all these breeding programs and shit, which is very nasty-ish. You shouldn't be, right? Is what's called zealots and whatnot. Now, the other little part in it is seeing my boy Mark Strong, who I like. I like Mark Strong as an actor. Yeah, I've seen him in The Penguin, taking over John Turturro's role as Carmine Falcone and playing a younger version. Boy, he was scary. I like seeing him in gangster movies. I really do. Seeing him in this was kind of disappointing, because he might as well have been in that damn Atlas with J-Lo, because he was in charge, but he was just about as in charge in the two of these things as he was in this, which was by title only, because he can't make a decision without, a woman in his ear, even though he's supposed to be the emperor of house, the emperor of the empire. The emperor of the empire. That sounds fucking stupid. Very intelligent. He is the emperor and sits from House Carino, right? So we already know about the Padishah emperor, right? Well, he's the emperor, and he's, even at this time period, 10,000 something years before Paul ever popped out of a Bene Gesserit vajayjay, he is having problems on Arrakis still at this time. It's like, holy shit, dude, this has never been under control. This has never been under control. What did Pragmatic say? He said, haven't read the book, but I did read his finished sequel book, Sandworms of Dune and Hunters of Dune. Okay. Man, bring that to the table on a Saturday, man. Bring it to the church. Put it before the church so we can know something about that, because I haven't read those. So I have some downloading, what I'm calling actual reading or listening to an audiobook, to do in the next few days. Gonna be some interesting nights of sleep, I can tell you that, because a lot of things you want to see in your dreams at night, a fucking sandworm is not one of them. Excuse me. Yeah, I need to read the book now too. Shaking my head. Thought it was done with Dune, but Dune hasn't been done with me. Oh hell no! I never, Pragmatic. I never want to be done with Dune. I love that world of Dune, and the way that I say you come to things in the way they come to you, right? I never had an interest in reading any of the extended stuff about the Bene Gesserits and whatnot. It sounded interesting, but I wasn't really interested in it. But the beauty of Dune is so many books and this shit. Every once in a while, you can go in there and just open a whole new chapter into this world that you never knew, that just fills out the world a little bit more for you. It's like reading Star Wars books and that shit, at least from the EU, where, yeah, you may have liked Mace Windu, but did you know about this? Did you know how he created a pod? Well, here's a book about just Mace Windu. You can go jump into that. Or you can go read some book about, you know, some of these other stormtroopers somewhere else, some of these other characters. And it's just fun for you. It's just fun. It opens up the world so much more. It makes it so much bigger than it was right before you opened that book and read it. So yeah, I never want to be done with the world of Doom. I'm good. I'm good. Look, they just need to. Denis Villeneuve needs to not fuck it up and do this Doom Messiah and try to hold it as close to the book as he can without worried about he gonna piss off some women, because there's some shit in there that don't necessarily rub our polite society the right way. Be the porcupine and not the house cat, okay? Rub my fur the right way. Get pricked. So, what's up, J Lock? Penguin Show is hot right now. It's the most talked about. Yeah, it's hot right now, but it's over. It's hot now because motherfuckers were so late to watch that shit. They didn't want to watch it because, oh, you like spinoffs. I can hear that echo in my ears right now. That's why I can't believe these motherfuckers sometimes. But now it's hot because everybody else has watched it. Damn, that was really good. Yes, it is very good. It was very good from episode 1. You should have been watching it. But it's okay. You can binge on it and catch up over the holidays and find out how good it was and how good television can still be, even on streaming, if you make a quality show and drop it weekly, not all in a bunch. That's the only thing I'm kind of pissed off about the Cross show, which I thought was very good too, is that Amazon dropped it all in a bunch like they didn't give a damn about it. I'm like, man, you made us sit through what is it, that fucking Rings of Power bullshit weekly. You made us sit through that crap weekly, but the one show about with a black male lead character, he ain't a drug addict, he ain't a thug, he's actually a detective, he uses his mind, not just his muscles. You drop all that shit all at once. Wipe and walk away. Like, come on, man. That was dirty. You giving this show no kind of breath. They did that, drop that shit like a crop dusting fart. And it's a good show. But white folks acting badly. Oh my God. Oh my God. Talk about corruption and very feminine leaning corruption. That shit might get taken off the air like Why the Last Man. There's only so much feminists can deal with, so much truth they can handle at one time. Des said, you think he's a Gola? That would be pretty advanced for them, right? Because it's 10,000 years before we knew anything about Golas. For the Doom books, from where the audience jumped into the Doom world, you know, shit, it's even more further back than that. Excuse me. So I'm interested to see how they're explaining this tech and how it looks, you know, 10,000 years after the fact. That it can't be that damn advanced. Could it be? I don't think it could be that damn advanced. Because when you got up to the, you know, Children of Dune and stuff like that, that Gola was supposed to be like some new technology for them. All right? Something new that they had been working on. So it would stand to reason that they couldn't have had that 10, 11,000 years ago. But that's just my thinking. I could be wrong. I could be wrong as hell because, like I said, I didn't read the original material. I'm going to go back and read the original material so I can have a leg to stand on complaining about some of this shit. Yeah, see, Pragmatic saying the same thing I am. Damn, a goal of that early in the timeline? That's interesting. Look, everybody rubbing their chins who read the Doom books and know the world like, interesting. That could be some lost technology later on. Yeah, I'm not gonna spoil the episode. So if you watch it this weekend, knock yourself out. You'll get a double dose. You watch it on a Saturday, then you'll see it, the new episode on Sunday. Because I was sitting in front of my computer on Sunday waiting for it to drop at 6 o'clock, and I was tired. I ended up falling asleep. I turned that shit off. I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'm still on East Coast time. I'm tired. Fuck this. Go to bed. It's late. It's late. Wasn't even 6 o'clock yet. Wasn't even 6 o'clock yet. All right, one second. Let me go through this gate. They don't like it when I'm talking when I go through the gate. Yes, yes, yes. I'm at work early. They look shocked when they see me sitting at the conference table early. Always looking at me like, damn, you still alive? Yeah, motherfucker, I didn't die in my sleep. Anyway, so walking to hopefully bring the Benny Talax into the series. We'll see. Like this is the part that's interested at least to me, pragmatic. Excuse me. Take my damn medicine. The interesting part is that it can have a lot of stuff in it that I am unaware of, so it'll be new for me. So I have to give the series um, a little bit of wiggle room because I don't know what the boundaries are on it, right? And the boundaries are the original story. I don't know the original story. So I'm very open to them telling me the story that they're telling me and get into what's happening with those characters in that world, in that story, right? The only reference point that I have is what I know of the books that come in the prophecy from Paul on, right? That's it. So this is all before Paul ever even, most of his family ever existed. So they got a lot of room to play with in there. Now I read the book, I finish the book about them, and then I see what they're doing. They're automatically hemmed in, and now you got that ham butt problem. Like, how much are you shaving off of this to stuff your bullshit in it? You know, what did you add to the mix? What did you add to the recipe that didn't need to be there? So that's the part that will be the most insightful, I would say, to me to see what they threw in. Because watching the behind the scenes little featurette that they do on Max when they do episodic television, it ain't nothing but a bunch of chicks sitting around having a conversation. So that's really making me like, let's see how this rolls because this can go completely bad in the House of the Dragon kind of way, or it can, be mildly, you know, subversive in a penguin kind of way. Just depends. Just depends altogether. Let me see what else we got, and then I'm gonna get out of here because I just made it to the job. What a dead set said. The show starts with Sisterhood of Doom that discusses the early days of the Bene Gesserit. Okay, thank you for the title. Save me a minute to look it up. Yeah, I'll come to the panel if I'm available. Miss chopping it up with y'all. Man, ain't nobody been barred. Look, there's no bar to any geek want to come through and chop it up because it's just a conversation. And since the political shit has died down, I'm sure everybody's attention can go elsewhere now. I just don't do politics. I don't do politics. I don't care about your politics. You can believe whatever you want to. I just don't. I don't see the point in arguing about politics. Sidebar. This that we read. Children. That's a different children. Arthur C. Clarke reading it now. It's a good reflection of what's going on. Ooh, I might want to read that shit. I might want to read that. I put Brave New World back on my book list to start going through. And I started going through it again while I was gone, just because. I stream on Sunday, Pragmatic, 11 a.m. Pacific Coast time, 2 p.m. East Coast time. What's good, chosen racers? Can't wait to see Messiah. Yeah, I'm waiting to see Messiah. I just want them to do it justice like he did the last two. I mean, me and Desek can, have a rash and a bitch about how they fucked up Shawnee, but that's listening too much to the actress and not having her play a fucking role instead of trying to play herself. I mean, Rachel Zegler is bringing down a whole fucking movie franchise just for that shit. So you need to stop listening to them. They want to do that shit. They need to start being directors, directing their own fucking movies, and hustling this money for themselves to make these damn movies. Yeah, I love to see it when stuff like this succeeds too. Yeah, I have to read that one tremendously. Face dances were developed after the Butlerian Jihad? Okay, see, I gotta read this book and catch up. I gotta read this book to catch up, get in the know, like y'all know. Yeah, but knowing the show was going to be great because Colin Farrell is a good actor, and that is his second villain role. Yeah, Colin Farrell is a real good actor, and look, his role in the Batman was a standout, playing the Penguin. Most people didn't even recognize that was him. That was a standout role. Taking that actor and putting him in that role, you didn't recognize him, and he was a standout. It ain't even his fucking movie. But then turn around and doing a show that kills. That's look, man. I would say it's one of the best comic book shows ever done. I would say that because they took the character seriously in a realistic framework. They didn't play it like a fucking joke. Nothing comical, nothing comic booky, none of that shit. Yeah, you know these characters from the comic book, but they ain't doing no comic book shit. None of it. And that's what made the show so damn good. Without Batman, imagine that. It's one of the events in place. Now, if they want to get smart, give me a Dick Grayson Nightwing show. Like that. No Batman. You ain't even got to wear the costume necessarily. Bet you can make it good. Some of it's to take place at this point too. Yep. Okay. I missed some of the series release, some film content. Yeah, I like the idea of content in between your big movies. Marvel did it. Marvel was doing it first when they first started their universe, and that's what your Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. kind of functioned as. It functioned as your off-ramp for your transition until you got to the next big Marvel movie. It worked for a little while, and then Perlmutter broke all that shit up, so then it stopped working. Just what the hell it is. But it was a good format, I think, for keeping people engaged in your product the whole time in between your big movies. It doesn't work, though, if everybody wants to do something completely different with the product in between there, and none of it has a through line. No overall roadmap to where the hell we going. It doesn't work then. I understand people want to be creative, but it's also creative outside of having no bounds. It's also creative to be able to weave your story within bounds. Right? It's like being able to rap without cursing. It makes you more creative because curse words can become the lazy way to do things. If you can use this language and use these words and still tell the same story with the same kind of impact without that shit, then you actually being creative because you're having to use more than the basics to get through. So I like to see that shit. It can work. I like I don't mind having some Dune content as long as it's good. And this one got that, feminist stink all on it. So, everybody gonna be waiting for the the kick in the nuts. What's up, Malika? What's good with you? What's good, Double C? I'm seeing this bitch too. Man, I miss seeing y'all in the morning. Found her reveal a lot of backstory in the last two Dune sequels. Okay. Yes, that's exactly it, Dead said. Penguin did not exist in Batman's shadow. No. Batman's shadow wasn't nowhere over this damn show. Nobody even. There was sly mentions, but nobody spoke on him. They had their own shit going on. Nobody was concerned about the damn Batman because, like I've said many a time, he wasn't that damn big of a deal at that point in time. He's 2 years in. They barely recognized his ass. He had to knock on the front door to get in the club, nigga. And then barely was getting past the bouncers. Fuck out of here. No, he's not that big of a deal right now. This ain't prep time, Batman. This is Batman. I had to prep. I didn't have the time. This ain't that Batman. So no, he's not that big of a deal yet. And that's where he's supposed to be. He's coming into a situation that has already existed before him. He ain't coming in and dominating. Get the fuck out of here. He's getting his ass kicked by fake Joker gangs. Come on, man. Fell off a truck and had to walk it. Anyway, let me go ahead and get out of here. Good seeing you guys. Hopefully I can do more of these. Yeah, you felt bad for Victor? Yeah, you're supposed to feel bad for Victor. But why? Victor was doing some shit that was against what his father would have wanted him to do anyway, right? So, in for a penny, in for a pound. It's just what it is, man. It's just what it is. But good seeing y'all. I'm going to get out of here. And if you want to be up on the conversation, check out Doom Prophecy on Max. Only one episode is out. New episode comes out on Sunday. And if you got time to binge it, then binge the Penguin. Binge the Cross. Those are some good shows out right now. And yeah, you can get steered towards you need to be watching Arcane season 2 and all the rest of that shit. Yeah, well, I like to see black folks get some more shine in cartoon and pixelated folks. Just saying. There's enough female-centered content out there. There is. It's not going away. So we have time to look at some other stuff too. So peace. I will see you guys next time.